8th of 2024. We're not saying that Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback overall. However, if Jalen Hurts plays like that yesterday again, maybe in a playoff team against a better team not named the Carolina Panthers, then they're probably going to lose that game and get eliminated. Now, he didn't do that against Baltimore. He didn't do that against some of the other better teams that they've played during this winning streak. So we're not saying that he's not going to get back to the Hurts that we've seen before. But it is okay to be critical of your franchise quarterback, and he freaking deserves it today.
He absolutely deserves it. And again, let's hope the one thing is this. And I love the debate. I love the conversation. But if somebody can't come to the table today with saying that was a horrible game for Jalen Hurts, based on the standard that he has already established himself that he's able to play at,
that's the key word, the standard.
You're not paying attention. You're just not paying attention. Or you refuse to engage in a reality conversation. And that's one of the things is that you have to just say, look, A.J. Brown, if you do not believe that A.J. Brown was referencing his quarterback yesterday, not saying that he's a bad guy. He wasn't trying to throw his quarterback under the bus. He was answering a question honestly. It was a terrible day. It's okay. It is okay to say it. He absolutely was referencing his quarterback.
No. I'm not arguing that. Yeah. But
I heard the sigh, so I figured.
Why
the only thing I hear that is from my wife.
Because you said that wasn't the Jalen Hurts standard. And I think there could be an argument that it is.
Well, that's going to, Connor, you're really going to trigger some people then with that.
Well, what did he do?
You're going to trigger the Hurts truthers are going to be all over you if you say that.
Well, he threw 21 times, 14 for 21. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns through the air. He didn't have an interception. He went barely over 100 passing yards. The yardage was down. He missed open guys. But look at the numbers from this winning streak. He hasn't had these 300-yard, 4-touchdown, air it out type of games.
No, you're right, but you just said something that he hadn't been doing during this winning streak, missing the open guys.
Okay.
He had been hitting the open guys, and yesterday averaging 6.2 yards per attempt, which is the lowest per attempt throughout this entire winning streak. During this, per attempt, not per completion, which is catch and then yards after the catch. This is air yards. He was just looking at everything underneath. He was so hesitant to take any shots downfield yesterday when his guys were there, and that's not something we've seen during this winning streak.
I totally agree with you, but this goes back to a conversation we had last week where there were people who were worried about not seeing that huge Jalen Hurts game and saying, I love what they're doing in the running game, I love what the defense is doing, and I believe in this team, but something in the back of my mind says you need that great quarterback to end up hoisting a Lombardi, and people still have those questions about Hurts, and yesterday's games like that are the reason why.
And look, that's fair, but I wouldn't use one game because that was the worst game of this winning streak. Of this winning streak, part of the reason why his numbers were down is because Saquon Barkley has rushed for 200 yards in almost all of them.
That's a big part of it, but also you have to be ignoring the. No,
but I'm saying it would be unfair to point out yesterday's game and be like, this is why I'm nervous when during this entire winning streak, he has been much better than yesterday.
Whoa.
Yesterday's game so far. What?
Why would that be unfair to point out? Has he not had games like this before?
Yeah, why would that be unfair?
Well, you're pointing out one game.
I agree the same thing, though, but there's plenty of games we can point to that have been like this.
Yeah, but I'm saying during this winning streak, when they changed the offense, when the offense has been, let's lead with Saquon.
Wait, the Jags win and the Browns win are part of this winning streak.
Yeah, the Jags win was Sirianni.
Yeah, they were really good in the Jags game.
He was perfect. He had a 132 rating. He was perfect against the Jags.
Okay.
Saquon fumble, and then
that is the Saquon
all
fumble.
The Sirianni decisions. That was why they almost lost the Jags game. The Cleveland game, you're right, but he actually played well in that game too. He was 16 of 25, 64 completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers.
How many yards?
264.
Okay, see that's
not terrible.
Yesterday's the blemish for Jalen Hurts post bye week. When everything changed, when they changed the direction of this offense, yesterday's the blemish.
Yeah, but he's not a new guy in the past 9 weeks, right? It's not like he became Joe Burrow. It's not like he became Lamar Jackson.
Right.
We've seen this from him in the past. It's not just this winning streak. It's his career as an Eagles quarterback. Outside of 2022, the worry about Jalen Hurts is he's capable of these games where he feels like either a non-impact or a negative player at the quarterback position. And that's why people are worried about, okay, not the NFC Championship game ceiling, but can you win a Super Bowl against a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes with this guy?
Well, the one thing I'd point out is that, and I think everybody needs to remember it, Josh Allen can put up all the stats in the world, and he lost. Like, I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes won another crappy game where he barely I think he barely passed for 200. That was one of my picks of the week. That was an easy pick.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been the same, but he won that game. Like, I mean, you can. The stats this year is a very strange thing to sort of for people to hang their hat on.
Yeah, but like
Patrick Mahomes,
you're not blaming Josh Allen for yesterday.
No, but Patrick Mahomes
defense gave up 44
Yeah,
points.
but you can get all the stats that you want in the world, and it doesn't matter. Patrick Mahomes is proving that. Patrick Mahomes is having a worse year than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and he's finding ways to win.
Correct. They have one less loss than the Eagles, but he has not had as good a year as Jalen Hurts, period.
So here is Jalen Hurts after the game yesterday. Again, lightly, because there's not much Jalen Hurts in this clip. So you're going to hear a couple of question and answers. Just to lead you into the first answer, he was asked about the amount of targets that certain wide receivers were getting. And the first answer is kind of, but it continues. Take a listen to Jalen Hurts' postgame yesterday.
I play my role in it and how we execute, but ultimately it's about what position we put ourselves in. It's not my choice.
Sorry, what can you guys do better to start the games better? I mean, you guys didn't get anything going until the second quarter. I mean, what's kind of
well, it's nothing new. That's kind of what we've done. Got to figure it out at some point.
The notion of trying to be on the same page, is that a conversation that should be happening in week 13 of the season? Or the 13th
No.
of the season? And why is that the case right now?
I just say no.
So
That's another very honest answer.
So let's unpack it. The first one, he says, I don't control the targets. You do and you don't. Like, obviously, they're not saying in the play call, hey, throw this one to A.J. Brown. But when A.J. Brown's open downfield, you should target him.
Well, in the play call, they are telling you where they want to
right, where the hot read is and all
then
that
he
kind of
has
stuff.
to decide,
right.
am I checking down or otherwise?
And then the second one, they asked about the slow starts, and he goes, well, this is nothing new. You're right, but it still needs to be talked about and addressed and fixed. Again, you're playing the Panthers yesterday. That's one thing. If you're playing some high-powered offense, that's another conversation.
Well, he said we need to figure it out.
Yes, he did. And then the last one, no, you're right. We shouldn't have to talk about being on the same page this deep into the season. But after a game like yesterday, I think every question that was asked of him was fair.
Tommy Reardon brings up a good point on Twitter. I know we're talking about yesterday's game, but he has been taking terrible sacks and missing wide-open receivers all season long, even in victories. He has been. We can either talk about it or we can just stick our heads in the sand and say it's not happening.
I'm not sticking my head in my
No, but I mean, there's lots of. But the thing is that it is not. This is a problem. And yesterday we saw with the spot earlier, A.J. Brown acknowledging it, and people are like, A.J. Brown's not talking about his quarterback. What the hell do you think he's talking about? Like, what do you think he's talking about? The guy who delivers the ball in the passing game. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith can run the most beautiful patterns that they want. But if the ball can't be delivered to them, or if the quarterback won't fire the ball off, they got no chance. I mean, it's we got to have an honest conversation about this team, and I think a lot of people want to go, hey, they're winning. They're winning. It's okay. No, it's not okay.
No, it's not. He had a bad game yesterday.
It's not. Yesterday was a bad day.
I can't.
Hey guys, Andrew Salciunas from Kincade and Salciunas. Thank you for checking out all of our stuff on YouTube. Make sure you click, like, subscribe on everything that you see. And of course, you can see everything from our YouTube feed. Full shows, interviews, when John's being an idiot, which is like 15 times a day. So make sure you check out all of our stuff on YouTube. We appreciate it.